It is 6 o'clock, live from the heart of the Texas Hill Country. You're listening to Eat, Play, Live with me, Andy P., the show that's chasing dreams and crushing goals. My goal here is to help you live a healthier, happier, more balanced 2022. That's right. We are coming up on the new year, and the focus for this year, let's learn to love ourselves unconditionally. It's a tall order. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of work, but we are worth it, right? Who better to love than yourself? Because through that, all other love can flow. So we're going to start tonight by talking about why. Why does it matter to love yourself? And then later in the show, we'll get into the how. So let's start right off. First of all, the opposite of loving yourself, self-loathing, self-criticism, well, they don't motivate you. You know, a lot of people think that they're actually motivating themselves when they tell themselves things like, you're not good enough, you're not fast enough, you're not working hard enough. But you're not helping yourself. You're creating shame. Shame, the belief that you're unworthy of love or belonging. So if you're creating shame, you're absolutely not loving yourself. It does not support long-term transition or transformation. It might work for just a little while, but eventually it's just going to backfire and you're going to end up feeling worse. So we're getting rid of that. We're getting rid of that voice in the back of our head. I know this voice, and I'm going to work right along with you because that's got to go. That self-loathing, self-criticizing thing that we do, no more. No more. Loving and accepting yourself is the best way to create long-term change. Is that what you want? How liberating would it be to pursue wholeness instead of perfection? Wholeness. That's what we're looking for. We're not trying to be perfect. Nobody is perfect. Progress, not perfection. You're never going to get there. But where you will get is wholeness and be able to love yourself. Loving yourself allows you to love others deeper. Once you love yourself, you're less preoccupied with yourself. You have time to love other people more when you're not so caught up in your own head. Does that make sense? We get so caught up in our own head worrying if we're doing right, if we're doing enough, all the stuff, all that critical voice. When you're not listening to that voice, you can listen to other voices that have kind, good, uplifting things to say, like mine. Okay, yeah, sometimes I crack myself up. True confidence is not thinking more positively about yourself. It's knowing you're complete. So it's safe to stop thinking about yourself at all. Wow. I feel like that goes against a lot of what we think. You know, we think that if we're not concentrating on being the best we can be, then we must not be doing it. But we shouldn't need to be putting all that effort in and staying all wound up in our heads. Just get over that. Focus on spending that time and just knowing you're already there. You're already complete. You're already your whole imperfect self. And it's okay to be right there, right now. Loving yourself frees you from what other people think of you. Yes, amen, right? This is not the first time I've talked about this because letting go of what other people think is, okay, I'll admit something that I have struggled with and have not 100% conquered. I still worry about what other people think. I know. We've got to let go of that. And it takes practice, right? So that's what I'm trying to do. And what I'm encouraging you to do, again, progress, not perfection, but progress a little bit. Let go of one little thing that you were worried about what somebody else thought. Let go of that one little thing. And that's a step in the right direction. I unfriended someone on Facebook over Christmas, and that seems like a not nice time to unfriend someone. And so that was a step for me because I was worried about what that person would think. But it was someone who was speaking negativity on my Facebook wall, and frequently, not just a one-time thing, but frequently being negative. And I don't need that. And I don't unfriend people very often because I love my friends. But it was time. It was time to let that one go and not worry about what others think. Loving yourself allows you to make peace with the past. When you love yourself the way you would love a friend, you start to see that your past self was working with all the information, energy, skills, and understanding that you had in that moment. Okay, so you may not have acted right back then, what today you would say is acting right. You may have done things way different than today you would think you should have handled it. But where you were right then, the information you had right then, you're just doing the best you could do. That's all we do, right? That's what we do. So give yourself a break and make peace with the decisions, the things that you've done in your past. Just make peace with that. Loving yourself gives other people permission to do the same for themselves, especially, of course, your kids. They watch you, they see you, they learn from what you do. Not what you say, but what you do. And when they see you being confident in who you are and loving yourself and not worrying about what other people think of the way you live your life, they will learn that too. And not just your kids, your friends, your family. It creates a ripple effect that's a healthy ripple effect. So I get it. Learning to love yourself is a process because all the limiting factors have got to be left behind. The good news is, as you're working toward this, you get little glimpses of bliss and joy along the way. You get to see what you're working toward. So the ultimate goal, to love ourselves as purely as we might love a newborn baby or a sublime sunset, and then turn those passing moments, those are so brief, you catch just that moment, but turn that into a permanent state of being. It really, really is possible to love yourself in a way that lasts. Unconditionally. In fact, the other day I was riding my Peloton bike. Oh, how I've missed my Peloton bike. You know, if you've been listening to my show over the past 6 weeks, I have been traveling and doing this show remotely. But now I am once again home and reunited with my Peloton bike and Cody Rigsby, who is my favorite instructor. Shout out to Cody, because when I'm having a bad day, he will always turn it around and crack me up. So in talking about loving ourselves, he actually did a ride, and that was the focus, was loving yourself. And I just wish I could harness the way he explains things, because when he does it, it's hilarious, and me, maybe not so much. But he was saying, at Christmas, I'm sure many of you, as we always do, receive or buy those giant tubs of popcorn, right? And they've got the buttered and the cheese and the caramel. And Cody's advice was, baby, treat yourself like the caramel or the cheese popcorn. You are not the buttered popcorn. You are not. That's the one nobody goes to. Everybody wants the cheese and the caramel, and that's you. So remember to treat yourself and love yourself. And then apparently they mix well together. I don't know that I've tried mixing them together, but I just thought it was such a clever way to, because it's so true, right? Everybody avoids the buttered popcorn, even though that's generally, there's more of that than the other flavors in that bin. They pack it in more. Is that what you want? You want to be the flavor that is just packed in more, but still nobody wants that flavor? No, that's not you. You are the one that we all choose every time. So as we love ourselves, we also want to feed ourselves well. And as cute as that was, popcorn, especially caramel or whatever they use to make those flavors, probably isn't going to be the best choice as far as taking good care of your health and your body through the things that you are eating. But all right, we can have a little fun. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas, and I know you splurged a little. Okay, I probably splurged a little too. It's okay. It's over. We're moving on, starting fresh. We've got New Year's coming up, and we're going to start fresh in 2022. We're going to love ourselves well. We're going to eat well. And what does that mean? Okay. A lot of times I give you a lot of really specific information on eating well, what you should, what you shouldn't. Let me break it down into just a really simple thing that you can start with, right? Because you want to start on New Year's Day, start strong. You've got this resolution. You're going to take better care of yourself and your health. Well, here's what you need to be your go-to foods. Lean protein. That means poultry. That means fish and lean red meat. Not as much of the red meat as the poultry and the fish, but it is in that lean protein. Veggies and complex carbs. You've got to have your vegetables. Your mother was not wrong. You need to eat your greens and lots of other colors as well. Complex carbs, sweet potatoes, whole grains, grains that have not been bleached and all that processing done to them. Those are good for your body, the complex carbs. Healthy fats. You can find your healthy fats in avocados, in nuts. Be careful with the nut. Well, be careful with all the healthy fats because they have a lot of calories, but they're good for your body. You need them. Olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil. Those oils, when you use those to cook with, those are healthier choices. No more vegetable oil, no more canola oil. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Throw it away. I don't care that you spent $1.99 on that bottle. It doesn't matter. It's terrible for you. Throw it away. Drink lots of water. Water, 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 water. I will never stop preaching how much your body needs water, and probably a lot more than you're giving it. So I know I went on a run today. Oh my goodness, I've been gone too long because I set out on a run that was actually a path I've done many times. It was a lot farther than I remembered. I was thinking it was about 5 miles. No, it was 9.5. I did not set out planning on 9.5 miles, especially on hills. I have not been anywhere hilly in a while. Oh, it was not fun. And I did have a little water bottle with me. Thankfully, I carry it almost every time I run, even if it's a short run, because I can put keys and anyway, and it's handy. Then I can continue hydrating, even if it's just a tiny little drop. But I tell you what, by the end of that run, I was out of water and I was hurting. I drank so much water, then you drink a whole bunch and you're kind of sloshy, but we need more water. And it was very clear. A lot of times it's not that clear. You may think you're hungry and you're actually thirsty because you're dehydrated. So drink some water first before you eat. Like you're going to dinner and you feel like you're pretty hungry. Drink some water while you're looking over that menu, and it will help take up a little bit of the space in that stomach. And maybe you weren't as hungry as you thought you were. And maybe you don't need to order the appetizer or the larger plate of nachos. Maybe the smaller plate will do. Okay. So I want to give you some tips that as we launch into this new year, easy to remember. You don't have to, I will never tell you to get on a diet. That is a bad word. That is a 4-letter word that we do not use, because what we want are to make healthy choices in our life that are just a lifestyle change. Okay. Over time, you'll get used to it, and it's something that you're going to need to carry on for a long period of time and enjoy. And don't think of it as this prison sentence of a diet and I can't have this and I can't have that. Nobody wants to live that way, right? So that list, the healthy, lean proteins, the complex carbs and vegetables, healthy fats, water. Simple. Those are the things you need to be putting in your body. So focus on those being the main staple of your diet. If you add some other things here and there, all right, well, that kind of stuff happens. But let's focus on those. And then 2 things. I'm only going to give you 2 things to absolutely just stop. Just cut them out. Fried food. Deep fried food. Just let it go. Let it go. There's nothing about that that's good for your body or your mind or your spirit. It's just not. I know it's fun. I know it's tasty. It's hurting you. It's hurting you. And if there's a place you like to go eat and that's the only thing they offer, then just don't go there. There are other choices. Okay? We don't have a ton of restaurants here. There's still better choices. There are places you can go and get things that are not fried. I promise, at every single place here, there's a way to do it. If you need help, message me on my Facebook, eatplaylive.andy. Message me. I'll tell you what to order at every restaurant in town. I've been practicing. So the other thing, sugar. Let it go. Let's give up sugar in 2022. Sugar is as addictive, if not more, than heroin. It is harmful to your body. It causes inflammation. There is no nutritional value in sugar. And I know it's in a lot of things that you probably like, and you may not appreciate me telling you to let go of fried foods and sugar. But you want to live better, you want to look better, feel better, be better, have a healthy body, then let go of fried foods and sugar, because they're both poisoning you. They're making you fat. They're making you get diabetes, all the health problems that go with being overweight. I'm just saying, and I'm going to do this too, because, okay, confession time. I have slipped a little bit with traveling for 6 weeks. I ate more fried foods than I should have, usually in the form of chips, because it's really hard to eat guacamole without chips. And I love guacamole, and it's a healthy choice, except that the vehicle is a chip and it's deep fried. That's so hard. So, like I say, it's progress, not perfection. Okay. I haven't fully let go of the chips either, but I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better. And so can you. See, that's all we can do, right? And let's play more. Let's play more in 2022. Playing, moving your body in ways that are fun and get your heartbeat going. Maybe dance more. I was thinking about taking salsa lessons. Anybody around here give salsa lessons? Because I really want to learn how to do this before I go back to Mexico. But what a fun way to exercise, because your heart rate's going, you're moving your body, but it's playing. It's so much fun. What if I had somebody actually say to me the other day, I just don't know where to begin. I'd like to go to the gym. I'd like to start a exercise program, but I have no idea where to start. All right, I got you. We all have to start somewhere. We all have to walk in the door. And I will promise you that the hardest part is that first time stepping in that door. That's the hardest part. Then it gets easier and easier. So yesterday, my dad, who is 74, joined the gym for the first time ever. I am so excited. I'm so excited. He's been needing to move more, and his doctor wants him to move more and suggested, walking or just a variety of things to get him out and moving around a lot more. And he doesn't want to walk. He thought that would be boring. So he joined the gym, and he knew I'm there a lot, so I can help. But it's not so hard. So when he came in for his first time, I showed him all the equipment, and I showed him the cardio equipment, and I helped him to choose one that I thought would be easy on his joints. If you haven't been exercising, we got to take baby steps, right? We don't want to get hurt at all. And especially right off the bat, because that will really drive you in the other direction. So he liked the elliptical and gave that a try. And I had him get on that for a little while. And I said, okay, so now when you come in, first thing, do the elliptical first. Do it until you can feel your heart rate and it gets a little hard, and then push through that, because I don't know if you've noticed, but when you start working out or running, I feel this all the time when I'm running. The first mile is the worst. It's always the worst. And once you push past, it's like everything in your body is going, why are you doing this to me? But once you push past that, it gets easier. So that was my encouragement to him, was to get to where it's starting to not be fun and your brain's telling you to stop, and do just a little bit more. Even if it's only 30 seconds more, that's okay. This is a baby step. You got in the gym. So he did that. And then I showed him, to start, if you're intimidated by the free weights, I get that. It took me a long time to have the confidence, especially if there are a lot of like muscly guys over there. I was not going over there. So now I'm like, get out of my way. But baby steps. So I showed my dad how to use each of the machines, and it's nice because the machines have pictures on them of how to use it, what muscles it's working. And so even if you don't, if he doesn't remember exactly what I told him, he'll look at the picture and that will remind him, oh, that's right. Okay, this is this one. And so I had him just go through a circuit of each machine, just one set, first time. That's all. He did that. He said, all right, I feel pretty good. And there you go. And I said, now, if I'm not here, you can do the exact same thing next time. Or you can, maybe try the rowing machine instead of the elliptical. Make it interesting. Try new things carefully, slowly. Don't hurt yourself, but push just a little bit more. It'll get a little bit easier. It was so nice. And it was a good reminder for me, because I'm in the gym a lot and I forget a little bit what it was like in the beginning and how intimidating some of that stuff can be, because we don't like when we don't know how to do stuff. That's not a comfortable place to be. So I'm very hopeful that he'll continue pushing through. And if you are nervous about starting any kind of workout routine, again, message me, eatplaylive.andy on Facebook, and I'll help you any way I can. If I've got advice or any kind of support that can help you make that first step, then let's do it. Let's take that step, because you are worth it. You are worth it. So I promised at the beginning we were talking about why it's so important to love ourselves unconditionally. And I promised I was going to tell you also how. How do you do it? How do you do it? Well, let's do some steps. 1, pay more attention to self-care. What does self-care look like? Meditation or just quiet time? It's taking some quiet time. Some time in your day for self-reflection, for contemplation. Just experience the quiet and make some contact with what's going on in your head and your heart. And even when we're not traditionally busy, right? Like right now, you might be on vacation, holiday break from school. You're still busy. We're still so busy all the time. So make sure that you make it a priority to set some time aside and just reflect. Then honestly face those inner obstacles and the resistance. What is preventing you from loving yourself fully right now? There are some walls in there, and you may have to break some of those walls down. And it may take some help. You may have to get with a close friend, a mentor, a pastor, a counselor, whoever can help you break down those walls. If you find that there are things that I don't know why this is, but I can't seem to get past it. Well, you can always get past it. You might need some help getting over that hurdle, and that's okay. Deal with your old wounds. We all have old wounds. Whether they were left on us intentionally or not, we all have them, and we have to deal with them if we're going to get to that place where we can love ourselves unconditionally. I took a class that I do recommend. It was through my church a few years ago, and it's called Healing the Soul. It was not easy. It was a lot of homework and a lot of digging in. But I encourage you to find a class like that. Look online, get with your church, get with your counselor, find out what it's going to take to deal with those old wounds so that you can get on to the business of absolutely loving yourself. We got to forgive our past. Self-acceptance is required first. And the realization that you and everyone around you have been doing the best we can from our own level of awareness. So this can be such a challenge if someone has hurt you, right? But you can't fully separate from wrongdoing until you accept that others are trapped inside a reality they can't escape. Okay, let me break that down. That was a lot of information. But, earlier I talked about forgiving our past selves because we only had this certain amount of information at that point in our lives. We were making the best decisions we knew how to make at that time. Yes, we've learned since then. We know better. We do better. Well, same goes for other people. So that grace that we need to give ourselves, we also need to give to other people because they were also operating in a box of the information that they had and their hurts, habits, and hang-ups that were causing them to do something that maybe was hurtful to you. Does that make sense? Then you have to accept where you are right now. The present moment is not free of burdens or memories or those wounds from the past. They must be attended to. And then you can look around, breathe easy, and love the moment that you're in right now. And if you catch yourself shaming yourself about the past, repeat, I am not that person anymore. Because the truth is, you're not. You're not. You've grown, you've changed, you've become more lovely, and you're going to get to that place where you love yourself. And then we want to grow relationships where we feel loved and appreciated. And let go of the ones where you don't. It's hard to let go of the ones where you don't, but you don't have to reject those people that don't share your path, but you definitely do have the right to find people who understand your journey and empathize with it. They are more likely to appreciate you for who you are right now and who you want to become. So find those people that lift you up, that let your light shine, and they shine their lights right back, and you're in a healthier, happier, more loving space wherever you go. Then practice the kind of love that you want to receive. The only way to find the one is to be the one. So practice with everybody you meet. You give that love out, and that is where you will find the way to love yourself unconditionally. I am Andy Parker, and I am so thankful that you are part of my tribe and that you are working to love yourself more and to have a healthier, happier, more balanced life. So I encourage you. I hope you have a fantastic New Year's. Happy New Year. I encourage you to eat well, play hard, and live the life you love every day. Until next Thursday, you're listening to Eat, Play, Live.